Hello, blessings to all. Today I want to talk specifically to mothers. We women, as mothers, we feel we have this responsibility to take care of our children. And we tend to put our intentions in taking care of them, nourishing them, protecting them, and loving them. Still, there is something that we haven't maybe been able to see, and that's why I'm here today to talk about that. Because there are ways to protect our children that go beyond what you can imagine. And you don't have to really be working on taking care of them so much outside and see what they are doing. But once you get to do this step, then you will be able to feel more relief. You don't have to be after them. And I want to bring maybe this specific age in children, which is the teenager age, because that's a special and interesting time for mothers as for them as well, because they are already cutting the cord with mom and they want to become more independent and they are looking for their own identity and they want to kind of break from the parents. And so that age becomes challenging in the fact that they go out there and they find all sort of things, and many of those can actually be dangerous. So these kids at this age, they don't see how big the situations where they get into can have these consequences, because they just can't. And many of them get into drugs, stealing, and we tend to think that is because they're friends, because of the circumstances around them, or maybe because what they experienced in their childhood. But if you give or you gave the most you could to your kids, and they are living this sort of experiences, why did they, or why do they attract this sort of specific experiences like that, kind of dysfunctional? And so you might be asking yourself, would that be a coincidence? Or maybe it's a synchronicity? That is the question that I wanted to bring today. Is it coincidence that my children or my kids ended up doing these things and getting in troubles because of that? Or is it synchronicity that they go out there and find specific friends or people to get hooked into that? And that's why I'm here today. Because the best legacy that we as mothers can give to our children is to find, to recognize those ancestral roots, dysfunctional ancestral roots that we haven't been able to see and heal, and that those might be affecting also my children. So maybe if it didn't happen to you, maybe if it wasn't your case, then why is it that your children are going through these sort of experiences? And simple things like lying, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about this. So let's say that they take what is already there. It's like we attract what we have within. And you might be saying, no, but I didn't teach them that. I gave them this, I gave them that, values and all of this love, and then why did they end up doing that? And you don't understand it. Well, there's something that goes beyond. That's what I was saying at the beginning. It goes beyond what you can imagine. So your kids take what it is there in your system, in your family system. So whatever wasn't resolved, then someone needs to resolve it. If someone was excluded or rejected, then maybe they identify with that member of the system that wasn't included, just to show the front line what we need to see. For example, if they do something and then they hide the truth, or they do things kind of sneaky way, that sneaky way is like hiding something. They are hiding a secret. They don't want the parents to see it. Maybe that's saying something. Maybe there is a secret in your system that hasn't been able to be seen, and they are doing the same, and they are also doing it secretly. See how it works? The secrets want to come to the light, to the front line, and show. That's why it shows in your children's lives. The secrets come back, and they want to be revealed, because that's the intention of life, to bring those secrets to show, so that they are not secrets anymore that could be affecting as a repetitive pattern your children and your family. And so to protect our children and to do something to help them not to follow the same, maybe the best thing that we as mothers can do is to turn around and find those secrets, or find that truth of what we haven't been able to see, those unconscious memories that the system has been repeating over and over, bringing out the same situations, especially in the front lines. And this is how you can help your children in a different way. Instead of you being outside, trying to put your eyes on them, what are they doing, who are they talking to, it's like a lot of energy, because we have that fear that something can happen, because unconsciously consciously we cannot see it, recognize it, but unconsciously it's like pulsing, and you kind of know it, but you haven't been able to bring that up here to the conscious to see it straight, like confronted. So that's why you have that fear of that to happen to them, and you are all the time after them. So that's why I'm coming with this information today. I want you to turn around and start seeing your ancestors. What happened with mom and dad? What happened with my grandparents? That's a good step to begin. And so all of these secrets, and I usually say the best medicine that you can give your children is the truth and the liberation of those unresolved memories. And who brings all of those secrets? The mother. The news? We, the mother. The mothers are the ones who bring this information and we pass this information to our children. And of course, we don't want that to happen to them, but we don't even know what we are passing to them because many of that information still hidden in the past, maybe from your own ancestors. And all of a sudden, something happens and you're like, why did that happen? Where that came from? I didn't see that coming. And you're surprised. But the surprise is not really a surprise. Maybe you are following something or your kids are following something from the past. And so I would say that the most precious gift that we can give our children is to do this step, to liberate ourselves. Because once we get to identify what it is and we get to liberate it, then we can facilitate their path. And instead of them going towards the past, because all of the situations that are involved with drugs and stealing and betrayal or feeling depressed or anxiety, or many of them actually, commit suicide. Things like that are more related to the past. So instead of moving forward towards life, they are actually turning around and moving towards the past, towards death. And that's what they find all of these situations in their life, because someone needs to resolve them. And if maybe you got to say, that's not right, I'm not gonna do this. The fact that you taught your kids not to do it doesn't mean that it's resolved. You have to see it with conscious eyes. You have to liberate it. And to liberate it, you need to integrate it, to accept that those sort of issues pulse within your genetic information. It is in your cells. It happened that it comes, you inherit that. And also is within you. Not all of us get hooked into the same, but it is there. The information is there. And so my invitation for you, if you haven't done some sort of this work, is to do it through family constellations, systemic constellations. That's what I do. So the mother is the one who needs to create this change in order to change the children's destinies. So it's not your children, it's you, the one who can help. And so we can see, or if we go deeper, let's say, if your kid maybe has been stealing, and maybe we can say that the thief pulses within you. Maybe someone in your system did something like that. And maybe he was excluded or he was rejected from the family because of the shame, because of dishonor, because of whatever it was back in the past. Sometimes the families, of course, wouldn't accept this sort of behaviors, so they would exclude these members. But you have to, in order to change that, we need to include those members in the system because they belong. Not to accept the behaviors, but to include them as part of the system. And because what they did is also showing something that is within each of the members of the family. Some of them get hooked into it, some of them don't. But it's there, it's part of that system. It's like a cell, you cannot just take the parts that you don't like outside, because those parts are parts of the cell. They belong to that. And so just by that belonging, we can create an order that can create a change. And also the acceptance and the integration of those issues and those things that we don't like, that we reject, because those are within ourselves too. And sometimes it's kind of hard to say, really? It's like you say, really? I don't know, I don't like that. But if you don't like it, it's maybe because you also have it. What we don't like about others, there's something in there that is within me too, or within you too. So it's actually inviting me to see me, that I'm also within you. So when our kids do all of these things, maybe they are telling you, Mom is within me, and it's also within you, and it's within all of our system. And if you as a mother say, oh, okay, I see it now, I recognize it, I can include it or include whoever did it that is excluded. We can see that in constellations. We can liberate it. We can transform that. Because once we accept something, then it's the first step to change it. So we can facilitate that for our children. And so if you have seen something that you're judging in your children that you feel like is dysfunctional or creates more issues or problems, maybe it's time to take a look of that and say, what is that telling me? Me as a mother. So your kid is only showing it to you. Because by loyalty, they do it. By loyalty to the system. And maybe sometimes if you didn't get to experience that, then they take it. They say, I will do it for you, Mom, so you don't have to go through it. Because they love you so much. It's all, love is involved there, even though it doesn't seem like it. Because love can be transformed in different ways, but it's the same love. So if your kids maybe do drugs or they drink, and that's also, like, I had a case, a very good friend of mine called me that she wanted to constellate her kid, and he's a teenager, and he was having these issues with smoking and smoking marijuana. and she remembered she used to do it when she was young, but she did change, and she has been working a lot with that pattern. But then we got to find that her grandma had a tendency to eat a lot and became diabetic. She had diabetes, but it was compulsive. So it's a sort of the same sort of energy. Some people smoke, some people drink, some people eat a lot, some people buy things compulsively. It's that there are different ways. And we found that everything started, like the root of that was her grandmother. And that the man that she attracted, grandfather, had some issues with drinking and gambling. So they both were like mirrors. And then the mom, her mom, also attracted a man who was alcoholic. And so all of these things, and then she had a first partner, like actually the father of this kid that she came to constellate also has issues with drugs. So see, you attract this partner to show you something that is within you. And then we tend to say, oh, I didn't like this man because he's a drug addict. So I reject it. But I'm rejecting something that is within me because it's a memory that comes in my information. And so if I exclude it, then I'm resisting that, I'm attracting that. So I haven't been able to integrate it, to include that and say, oh, thank you. I can see now that you are pulsing within me too, that that's an information that is here too. And then that's the first step to start creating a transformation, a liberation. So our partners or the parents or the father of our children are showing us something. And if you didn't get to see something there, maybe turn around and see what happened with your father, because the mother attracts the information that is pulsing within her. That's why I'm saying that everything is within the mother. And we can change that. We can do something to help our children and facilitate a different destiny for them. So if you haven't maybe try Constellations, I do one-on-one sessions online and on site. And I also do group sessions on Tuesdays at 7:30 Eastern Time. I'm in Florida, in the US, and you are welcome to join us. And we do a great experience there where we all are transforming all of these unresolved memories that once we liberate, then we can help our children. And then that, because I would say that that's real love, that that's the best legacy that you can pass on to your children. Well, and that was all I wanted to share today. If you like this video, maybe you can give it a like here. If you have comments, you can leave them here. I will reply to them here. If you think that you know someone that maybe could be interested in understanding this angle of the picture, maybe you can share this video. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And I'll see you then next time around.